Hello, everyone. Welcome to another exciting episode of Pathfinder's Abomination Vaults, the Monster Interrupted podcast. Guys, when last we played, and for you, it's been 10 days or 2 weeks, dear listener, maybe a month. We are trying to get more and more of this footage as we can as Corey becomes more available. I have never seen a small round room with a single symbol on the wall scare the shit out of 5 grown men. I mean, you guys have waded yourself through gore and guts and undead and creepy libraries and beams of undead light and giant dead this and that. And I get this little tiny room with reinforced doors and a weird-ass symbol that you guys, happen to associate because your skill checks with a certain goddess of something, travel, destruction, or something like that. And it freaked you guys out. Now you guys are all cowering in a hallway. I mean, debating your options in a hallway. With Kenro, our cleric of debauchery, at the front of the line, followed by our orc barbarian, then our monk, Tassie the champion snake guy, and Dubsy being smart. Like, see how Dubsy's like several squares away from you guys in case you blow shit up around the corner? Guys, what do you want to do? What was the decision? Are we closing the door and moving on? Are we going to go through the room and open the opposite door? Or are we going to mess with the symbol on the wall?
I think we had just done some recall knowledges and stuff to see if we could find out what it is, but we never made a decision on what to do with the symbol. And we kind of learned that it's... What did we learn it was again? It wasn't just a carving. There was something magical to it, right?
Yeah, it had a simple, it's not evocation, it's not abjuration, a simple enchantment, a basic enchantment to it. And it's the symbol of, I hope I'm saying this right, Nimbolith. Nimballoth. And you guys had done some recall knowledge and religion and decided that she is not to be messed with. Hence are backing away in the hallway that you guys came from. So what you want to do, boys? Talk amongst yourselves? Well, let me scare you.
Kenro, I thought you were going to go lick that symbol.
Well, there's certain things I will lick, Dubsy, not just random symbols on walls. A little too dirty for my liking. However, I don't know if it's worth the risk right now of touching this thing. Is everybody ready for a fight if one happens?
Well, the whole point of us coming down here is to lift the curse on the Gauntlet ruins, and if we leave this place, I don't think we'll be doing our job right.
You know, those late night etiquette courses our barbarian's taking that's changing his personality and his accent are really paying off. I have to admit, like all that time you're spending with my NPC bard, it's really working for you, buddy.
He's got a little bit of down under.
Yeah, I know. It's good.
I say we hit it.
Now, as a GM, I feel it's my duty that Corey doesn't play every week, and he might want to touch and grab and push everything, much to the detriment of the party's safety. I'm just saying, keep that as a factor as Corey is a player that, doesn't play as often as you guys and might be a little gung-ho. I don't know if you guys want to put this to a vote or someone's just going to sneak up there and push it, but...
What, are you all a bunch of chickens? Just hit it. What's the worst thing's going to happen?
In these fights down here, my friend, we've been getting our ass kicked every other corner. The worst that could happen is that Drake is behind the door, and that fucker took us for a run, didn't it?
I didn't get to run very far. I only have short legs.
Metaphorically speaking, my friend.
What do you think, Tassie?
Well,
I know you're the new kid on the block, but...
Do as you will. And just... hit my sword against my shield. Clink, clink.
I like how you're in the back corner, like at the end of the line, with you guys.
Well, Kraga,
lamp or something down
you seem
there.
to be our damage sponge, so to speak. If you'd like to go and lay a hand on the old skull face there.
I will say I'm going to reset your hero points, guys. Not that you should be suspicious of that fact. But if you have 0, 1, or 2 hero points, please set them all to 1.
What's wrong with the 5 I've accumulated?
No, you don't get more than 5. No 5.
Oh, but come on.
I don't care about what variant rules you found out recently. Don't look them up. Don't look into it. We haven't played this in a while, so I will ask, did you guys have Dubsy check the room for traps?
No, I don't think so.
I think I looked the room for traps. I don't think I looked at the opposing door.
Okay.
I think you checked the door for traps, but I don't know if you checked the room.
Well, that's all the GM spoon feeding I'm going to do for the rest of the night, so
All right.
want to go up there, Dubs?
Somebody check
I'll go
somebody
in
check
there
it for
and-
traps.
I will double check everything.
Okay. Can I have a perception check in the tower? You know, that lovely little dice tower castle symbol on Fantasy Grounds. If you drop your dice or your skills in there for the audience and, I don't know, maybe our intern's knowledge, might have a secret guy in the wings. You don't know. You don't know. I might kill off some players and bring new people in. You have no idea what's going on. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, right. So, perception check that only I can see. You don't see... Ow. To find a trap. Door's good.
Everything looks good. Can I check the room too?
Sure. You don't seem to find a trap. This is me covering my eyes while talking on the microphone. No? Looks good. But
Okay.
the button does seem to be an embossed symbol that will generate some kind of magic effect or be some kind of magical button, because traps could be triggered by anything, you know, that type of thing. But it doesn't seem to have, you know, like, as far as your trap sense and everything can tell, pushing this button will have a magical effect, but it doesn't look like there's like the depressions in the walls that will suddenly open up and flood it with water, or some kind of magical effect that reverses gravity, or, you know, like, there just doesn't seem to be anything like that besides said magical button.
I'll go into the room behind Dubsy and have a sniff. Do I smell anything off? And here comes my perception into the tower.
Okay. Well, considering you used to joke, or I should say seriously roleplay, that Dubsy is descendant of some kind of frog-like people, and you are descendant of some kind of snake-like people, and you called them snack and food.
I just
You know,
want
it's
a
like-
snack.
It's like putting a vampire in a room with like some kind of, you know, fresh little humans. Like, you know, you hear the heartbeat, you see the vein, and you know, he smells good.
Come in, sniff it up behind him.
What is it? All the cartoons where they put the guy in the pot and they start doing the salt and pepper and everything, and the guy's oblivious, like, "What's going? What are we doing here?" Oh yeah, no, it's part of the recipe. You know, they tell you, putting the salt and pepper on him.
I don't need a
Dude, did it-
bath.
Yeah, exactly. Got to present you to the king. Yeah. The room smells not moldy, but it does smell fresher than it should. Like there is the possibility of air filtering through the room, leaking in and out. Now there's no vents, no holes. Our trap guy says the room is clean, but you remember how the door is reinforced and the floor seems to be, you know, its own thing from the walls.
Something seems a little pressure in here.
Oh, thank you. I did take a bath a couple times.
Dude, do you want to get eaten? It's like, oh, thank you for noticing. And I use mayonnaise
Cassie
as
just looks at him, licks his lips.
That's completely dirty.
My
all right.
species uses paprika as an under.
Exactly. Like, thank you, Spiegler. That's what I was going for. It'd be funny if Dubsy got into like the baking kit and he actually thought all this stuff was, you know, because he's from the swamp. He's kind of new at the surface world. You know, what's this? Oh, it smells good. I'll just, you know, little Old Spice and paprika behind the ears. Tassie's going nuts.
It's like mud. Just rub it on.
Here you go.
It snack. And a couple more hits against the shield.
Yeah, well, you're in the room with him.
Kenro, you start praying to your god or something, but don't wiggle those fingers until I get hurt.
It does say the little skull image is moss caked, so there is a certain amount of dampness and humidity in here. But again, it's like cilantro. Like, it smells fresher than as opposed to like moldy, if you know what I mean.
So we got no traps. We just smells like somebody took a bath in here, sort of.
Hey, I'm willing to do 3 episodes on this room. I'm having a great time, but
Okay.
yeah.
I'll have my whip drawn. I'm gonna start drawing my weapon just in case. I'll have it up my
Well,
Touch it. Touch
Yeah, I'm willing to touch it, unless
This
Cogno
is-
wants to.
I'm gonna draw a long spear, and I'm gonna march right on up, and I'm gonna touch the wall. Touch it. The heck with this.
Okay. You depress the button. There's ever so faint, like a glow shimmer. And then a distant grinding noise beyond the walls. And the floor begins to move up, but not towards the ceiling. The entire room seems to move like a cylinder. For Kenro and Kraga outside, you see the wall, remember I was talking about the reinforced door frame? Right? You see the 1/4 inch edge of it connected to the floor, you know, like the whole thing, like a frame sliding up.
like an elevator.
Yes, but we don't know what that is, where it's medieval, right? So, like a lift, I guess. Well, you know, in medieval times, they had like the rope and the winch, and they'd lift up stuff onto the wall, you know, type of thing. Like a completely stone-contained lift, cargo lift in a shaft, and it starts going up.
Yep.
You have a decision to make, Kenro. You let it go
I'll
or
jump in.
jump in there. Yeah. Okay. Dives in there.
Kraga, hurry up.
And I squeeze my giant body. and
Okay.
Just before it cuts off my leg.
Can I have acrobatics from everybody but Dubsy? The 2 guys blocking the door and the 2 guys trying to crowd in there. That everyone, because there's dudes have to get out of the way as well as, you know, dive through, kind of thing. Because as you can see, this is not a 4-square room. This is like 2 squares and then 2 half squares cut in half in circular patterns. Like, there's not a lot of room in here.
20 for Grega.
Okay.
Athletics.
24 for Cogno.
19 for Tassie.
Either or. Athletics would be shoving somebody into the back open space near Dubsy
23.
or crushing Dubsy. It's your choice.
We all
So,
rolled
Kraga.
extremely well for that, by the way.
I like how, like, you know, Snake Guy acrobatics 19, you just kind of like moves out of the way, right? You got Cognal
I am not
acrobatics.
even trained.
Yeah, I just love how the 2 big bulky guys are using dancing acrobatics and pull off higher than 20, so it looks slick. And then we have our little human that just like shoves you guys. Kenro with 23, move, shove, athletically, like, you know, shoulders his way in. But here we are. We are here. We are crammed. And we're going up, 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 up. And now I'm going to take your minis and put you guys on another map.
Hey, flexibility falls into athletics, and Ken is definitely a flexible one,
Oh, okay.
knowing his history.
Well, what happens on the elevator stays on the elevator, guys. Don't worry.
Oh, that sounds creepy.
On purpose, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure.
If anyone
I'm the
does
only-
anything, that's my hand.
Hey, you guys are crammed like nose to nose in an elevator, and all you can smell is paprika. That's all I'm saying.
Want to pull my finger?
You? No.
Is that Nickelback playing?
Okay, have I got everybody on the new map? No, I'm missing Tassie. Where are you?
In the elevator still, apparently.
Yeah, I just trying to drop
Right?
you guys. Okay. Sharing the new map. Up, up, up. This being a new experience and you guys being distracted, I will ask for perception rolls for you guys to try to judge between the jostle and the crunch and the paprika how far you believe you ascend, or is the entire dungeon sinking and you guys are stationary? Huh? How about that?
Without it.
In the tower, if you please. What do we got here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. You guys believe that you have moved upward anywhere from 10, 15 to 20, 25 feet. So you're probably on the second level, or maybe at a lower end of the upper level of said castle. You guys were down on the third level, where you found the library, and now you are up, 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 and then it just stops. Stops cold.
Is there
The-
a door?
No, you don't see a door. You don't see a door. However, the room is round, and the north side of the room comes flush with a flat wall.
All right, everybody
Horoscope
squeeze,
was right.
squeeze that out of the way and give Dubsy some room to work.
Dubsy, you want to go check this wall?
Yeah.
Okay. The rest of you try not to pull Cognil's finger. Dun, 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 dun. Yes, much like the door that led you here. Recently, you guys had found a secret door. Same kind of construction, right? They don't necessarily try to make it a completely different door. It's not the wall scone. It's not the loose brick or whatever. It may be in a different position. It may be a different trigger, but the same idea. Brick on brick, and a certain depression, kind of gives it away, and voila, Dubsy finds a secret door.
Oh, thank goodness. I got to get out of here.
Slides out of the way, dumping you guys into a side T-shaped alcove that goes 15 feet straight forward and to the left 5. What do you want to do?
I'll peek around the corner.
Okay.
I'm going in behind him.
Okay. You see an open door, a massive worm-like carcass with your dark vision. I love how that's black and white. And what looks to be a large circular chamber with a piercing turquoise light going ceiling to floor. This room looks familiar, Dubsy.
I'll try to whisper. Guys, haven't we been here before?
You guys want to pile out and have a look?
Sure. Because I
Okay.
don't think I was with them when they came here before. So this is new
No.
to me.
Yeah, that's right. Dun, 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 dun. Even down to where somebody had chopped this thing up and tried to find something. I think it was our orc that dug into this ancient purple worm body and found, or was it our dwarf? Somebody dug into the guts and found something. I think it found like the rapier or whatever. And you guys found this door and explored it and only found a, like T intersection that went nowhere. But then you guys got distracted and went off, let's double back. Let's finish, this part of the, and this is where you guys ran into Karen the Wraith, right? Her hallway of doom and her pantsuit. And then you guys finally got rid of her and then found this room, found the owl beam and, Can I have perception from the party, please? Being too kind, giving away. Okay. Is it just Dubsy, Or does that beam look a little bit wider than it was the last time we saw it? A little bit more solid, a little bit wider.
I didn't measure it last time, Dubsy, but maybe?
Hold my hands out. I mean, it was here, and now it's here, right?
That's a difference, I think. What does that mean?
Initially contained inside of a 5-foot square, being 5 foot diameter, or 5 foot or 3.5 foot radius type of thing, but pretty much contained in the center square on the grid. It now the circle of light seems to bleed over the edge of the 4 corners of said square, and it seems to be more of a 6 foot, 6.5 foot around kind of thing, as opposed to 5 foot, nice and tight beam.
Anybody try touching
What
the
happens if you go in the beam?
Yes, you guys remember that it seemed to have some kind of negative energy effect, and it hurt.
Oh.
And not in a cook your dinner kind of way, Tassie, in a kind of a necromantic, drain your life force kind of way.
If that beam's getting bigger, I'm not coming in that room.
Knowledge occultism to maybe try to figure out what it is?
Okay.
The thing is, Crag, if that beam's getting bigger, will it bring this thing back to life? If that's the case, it doesn't matter if we're here or not. That thing might chase us.
You know what? It might actually have something to do. Cognool, do you remember? Well, most of you guys know the Legend of Gauntlet, the lighthouse. And then some of you guys were here when the lighthouse actually shot a beam onto the graveyard and raised the dead and summoned a creature onto the plane that you guys had to fight. I know Cognool, our dwarf, was there for that one.
Yes,
I know Kraga, our orc, was there for that one. A lot of you guys had different characters or weren't playing it, right? Same color.
I did drop you a lore for the swamp.
Yep.
25.
Yeah, this might be the chamber of the light itself. I mean, it's a vertical shaft. We've encountered on several levels. It might actually be Tassie, occultism, Cognool, lore. It might actually be a beam that's charging up. I mean, it was quite a magical force that just suddenly lit the gauntlet and shot across the city or the town and nuked a blanketed field of 60 to 100 feet across, raised the dead, and dropped us a crab monster, and then went out. And then a couple weeks later, we go down here and we find this thin 5-foot beam, floor to ceiling, the floor and ceiling seeming to have nothing to do with stopping or generating or stopping it from piercing. And now it's growing in intensity, light, and size, ever so slightly.
This seems dangerous. Like this beam could give you crabs.
Assuming not the lunch.
I want to give him a hero point, but I really think it's I don't know.
I was waiting for Kraga to say something.
Well, actually, it's funny because Tassie is shooting in the dark. The player knows what happened, but the character wasn't there. So that's what I actually liked about his comment was Tassie just seems to nail it on the head without, yeah.
And on
yes,
that note, I think we should head back down the lift.
Spiegler's being responsible. What happened? What is this?
So are we trying to ascend or descend? I came in with you guys to a specific point via
Descend.
teleporter.
Yeah,
so
you're
we're trying to go
descending.
down? Okay.
You're trying, that's right.
Yeah.
We think the light is coming from below, and that's where we're trying to go.
Bigger for some unknown cause.
Yeah. The party will tell you that as far as they know, this is a chamber in the center of the second level of the dungeon that they have already cleared.
Yep. I'll move back into the T intersection
Okay.
and call back into the room. Snack. Check this wall.
They totally wouldn't have two secrets in a secret, would they?
Least place they'd expect it.
All right, I'll do it for Kenro.
Where are you searching? Where-
The north of the wall.
Because the guy makes perfect logical sense. That's not what they'd expect. Yeah, you know. Kenro's got Dubsy on a leash. He just says the opposite and off he goes. It's so good. I like that. I'm going to give a hero point to Matt, and I'm also going to give a hero point to Troy for not meting as player and trying to like work something out as a character. You know what I mean? Like that was good. I like that. As opposed to player going, oh yeah, I've played a million dungeons. It's always the type of thing. You guys both tried to keep it in character and say what your character would say, and that's cool. So I'm going to give you guys both your point for that.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Dubsy. Voila. There is a secret door in the wall. Damn it. The top of the T intersection, because Matt's played this game for too many years. Yeah.
I mean, why would they put a T going that way?
Honestly, Advanced Dungeon would not have it on the end of the hallway. They'd make you a blind hallway, and it would be like a little bit up the wall where you'd never search, you know.
Yeah, true.
But that's always where an experienced D&D player search next. They search the end of the hall. Nope. He goes, fine, I'll do the whole hall. You know, so construction guys going, haha, they'll never expect this for the first search. Oh well. It's all right. So might as well put it where, you know, more useful. Dubsy. The panel, stone wall slides, and a broken down bunch of torture instruments lie in a half-collapsed bunch of heaps on the floor here. The north slumps a ruined stretch rack, while the south pillory lies fallen on the floor. There are rusty tongs and chains, frayed and rotten whips, and other instruments of torture lie on shelves that look about to collapse. And behind you, Kenro begins to weep. Because this is not how you keep a torture room. It's not kept up. It's not kept to standard or code.
Kenro, I think I found this room for you.
Sorry, Troy, I couldn't help. A little sniffle. What have they
I'll
done
walk
to
in
this?
and check it out and see what we say.
All right.
Give it a look around and go, it is a little dirtier and a little
pulls
more
out a clip.
violent than I'm used to. But
Ken pulls out a
could be useful.
Ken pulls out a clipboard. Oh, this is not up to
Really?
code. Look at this.
I'll make note of this room for maybe my future endeavors.
Yeah.
Is there any? I'll throw a detect magic in the room to see if there's anything kind of neat in there or anything throwing off any magical symbols.
Okay. Did you guys want to take the time to search this room?
Do I have detect magic? I don't know. I don't have a. Do I have detect magic?
Yes.
Don't have a detect magic. Apparently. Yes, I do. Never mind.
Okay.
Sorry, I wasn't showing up. I had my wrong button clicked here.
Okay. You find the doors open, and it might take you a minute. Something that we had missed last time we were in this room, because the doors are open, you guys had come breeze through here. Maybe we didn't search it. Maybe you were in a hurry. But we seem to miss one of the rust. You know how they have the big ring on the wall, and you can like manacle people to it or just put up your laundry or whatever. It's like a big brass ring, and there's several all the way around at whatever height for hanging people, right? One of them next to the secret door, you can actually pull it down. It's all rusted, but it activates the secret door on this side, and we missed it from crappy rolls last time. But we found it this time after our secondary search. And again, sticking your head out the doors. Oh, there's the hallway that we remember, and there's there's this room and that room, and because you guys don't seem to shut doors behind you. But that's kind of cool because kind of gives away where you've been really quick, doesn't it?
Are there any chalices in this room?
Oh, there's a couple of rusted, broken chalice type cups, but too deteriorated to be the one you're looking for.
Okay.
Just see Tassie bent over a tile. Do you have a tail, Tassie?
Yep.
Okay, so like, you get excited. You see him bent over and you see the tail in the air flapping, all excited like a puppy. Like, he's digging the pile like a dog. Like, ooh, chalices. Nope, not the sacred one you're looking for. Your entire life quest. Nope, sorry. Damn it. Oh well. So, onward, backward, go around the way you know to go back downstairs. Try the elevator again. What do you guys want to do?
Oh,
Nothing really in that room at all that was of interest after detect magic and whatnot. So
no, sorry, you come up blank for the detect magic. The search, the perceptions got high enough that you guys actually found the secret door opener from this side, even though the door's open. It closes. Oh,
would
neat.
we remember how far the exit is from here, or like a way upstairs from here? Like, is this a shortcut that we could use the elevator up and then kind of book it out the door? Does this lead us closer to an exit?
Yes. Yeah, if you guys go out the right exit, there's a double hallway, and it's the ye old double hallway where if you go down it, where all the I want to say Morgrims. What are they called? Little gray dudes, the big eyes. Anyway, stairwell, room, 3 chairs, secret door. You guys have been through it like a dozen times. Like, you guys came through that room a dozen times. When you search this level, it's like less than 100 feet away from where you're standing.
Okay.
So that elevator actually is pretty handy.
Yeah. So we would probably tell the gentleman that, my friends, it looks like we found ourselves a bit of a shortcut as long as that elevator isn't making that light bigger, that magical room lift. We could probably use this for a lofty escape or even a lofty way to get back down there. Do you think, I think we should probably head back down, though, if our goal is to investigate further under this place.
Okay.
Yep.
I would agree.
Agreed.
So we're going to cram back on the elevator paprika.
It'll take us up more, who knows?
Ooh. Well, there's an idea. What if it takes us right out of here?
Like the little hieroglyphics of 2 little triangles, and we can kind of see if it's open the doors or close the doors, or, try to...
Nope. Nope. Just one moldy skull. One call button.
Touch the forehead, you go up. Touch the jaw, you go down. Like,
Oh, yeah. Hey, there's an idea, What if it says in the adventure? Like, I've seen shit like that before, Troy. 50-50 chance. Like, unless the player states it's a 50-50 chance they touch at the top or the bottom. It has this effect, has that effect, right? That's not bad reasoning.
Colic Noodle care to slap the button again.
So we all
Sure.
cram in there. You guys hit the button?
Yep.
Okay. Let me shift you guys out of the way. Oh, no. Sorry.
Oh, the map swap easier. Yep.
Well, not that. On my map, I have these pegs, and it'll give me a description of the room. And I stacked you guys on the pegs, so now I'm like, I can't see what's going on. All right. We cram in the elevator. You guys touch the skull, and it begins to descend. So level 2 seems to be, at the moment, as high as it goes, and it starts going back down and drops you guys where you started, 10, 20-ish feet back down on the 3rd level. But down here, instead of a secret door, the elevator has 2 actual doors set into the wall, one which we have yet to open. One, away we came, where there are other hallways and stuff yet to explore. What do you do?
Can you share that map, please, sir?
Yeah, working on it.
Okay.
I was stalling with the question. Trying to get it.
Pull out my weapon.
Actually, for a Fantasy Grounds tip, Drew, is there a fast way to share the map? Because I actually have it pasted on my board. I got to downsize it twice so it's loose window, then click on the share. Like, there's got to be a faster way to just share this.
There might be, but that's how I do it too.
Okay. You usually have all these life hacks for fantasy grounds that I'm unaware of. So you also use it when you GM your home game. Yeah, so elevator comes back down, guys. Door to the north, we have not explored. Door to the south, what do you want to do?
Open the door to the north and step through.
Okay. Shove. Dubsy's already checked this for no traps. A hallway, Tassie, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35 feet to the north and ends in an actual door. Everyone's good? Marching order, perhaps?
I'll
Yes?
leave room at the door for Dubsy to check.
We bravely go almost all the way, right?
I'll follow Dubsy right behind. Spear drawn.
Okay. And shall we say Kraga and Kenro in the rear, or do you want to have somebody heavy in the back? We don't get surrounded.
Braga would be best at the rear if he's up for that.
No objection, Speaks?
Nope.
So, Dubsy at the door, followed by Tassie the champion, followed by Cognul the dwarf with the spear, Kenro our cleric, and Kraga our barbarian, educated orc, at the back. The door before you, Dubsy, I'm assuming your perception is sniffing around it. It does not seem to be trapped.
Okay, guys. I'll pull out my weapon and swap places with Tassie.
I
Okay.
will open the door. And step on through.
Tassie of the Writhing Blade. While this room may have once served as a writing studio, today its condition has all but been obliterated by dozens of tiny swashes of skinned flesh marked with
Ew.
tattoos. Judging by the workspace on the table in the middle of the room, these tattoos have been placed post-mortem, with the swath of pale skin stretched over the desk sporting a half-completed image of a sinister woman.
Gross.
Sitting in an overstuffed chair is a long-eared, pale, turquoise-skinned creature wearing leather-working clothes, long tongue, teeth, and claws betray him as one of the possible flesh-eating folks that we ran into before, but is digitally wearing a monocle, tool belt, and is, as we see here in our picture, stitching away at papery-looking piece of flesh, mocking a tattoo. And I will put him on the board. Where are we here?
It's pretty cool looking. Creepy, creepy, creepy.
You guys come through the door. I love this. They give him initiative if I want, and he automatically has -2 to the roll because he's busy. He's focused on some other task. You know, he's not sitting there waiting for intruders. He's so focused on what he's doing. -2 is not much of a penalty, but that's the go-to in this system. And since we're exploring the new system, I just thought I'd bring that up in my notes, even though technically it's a behind the counter thingy. Anyway, with your perception checks on your main page, if you please. Acting as possible initiative. Not that we have to go to guns, but weapons are out, the door's open, and then suddenly everyone re-ups their perception by, looking over each other's shoulder going, what do you see? What do you see? What's going on?
We seem to have lost my location on the map.
I got you here. Yeah?
My total map is blank. Nothing but black grid.
Okay.
Not that we've never had that happen before.
Yeah, no. Some technical difficulties. You step into the room, like you said. You're within arm's reach of this guy, partially stunned by the room itself and what he's doing. The figure in the chair looks up, seethes, and curses, wasting an action each round. For the first 2 rounds, voicing his displeasure and informing the heroes about... Oh my god. Remember how I talk about Messina always wasting rounds on talking? They literally penalize this guy for bitching at you in combat. That's so good. So you come in, and this guy's reaction is he seems very perturbed that he's been disturbed. He seethes and like is totally pissed and starts cursing at you. But let's check the combat tracker here. Cognual. He opens the door ahead, and being ready or whatever, with you getting the initiative, the round technically is yours. Did you want to run up and do anything, or you want to just wait?
We're just gonna move in within striking distance and see what happens.
Okay. Entering the room, stepping left, there's a door right there. There's 2 exits, plus the one you came in. Small room, 15 by 15. Now this room is supposed to have a table, a bunch of stuff in it, but they don't usually post that in the artwork so that you guys have some room to maneuver, right? The image, as I had posted, a workman undead working on these tattoos and whatever, taking it all in. Anyway, this guy is reacting very poorly to our invasion and looks like he's, hostile. He's not armed, besides his tool bit, and he seems more interested in bitching and complaining at you guys coming in than doing anything. Anyway, you move in the room, take up a position. I'll say burn a perception to download all the intel that I gave Matt in the room. Tattoos, table, workbench, guy sitting, lay of the land, no other opponents at a glance, 2 exits, an action left. What do you want to do? Just wait?
We're
or
just
move
going
more?
to wait.
Okay. The monocle wearing undead, as I am labeled until you learn my identity. I gotta see what languages this guy speaks. Aklo, Common, Necrol, and Undercommon. Probably, if I want you to hear my insult, it'd probably start bitching in Undercommon and maybe start throwing in some Common. Seething. Cursing at you. Swearing at you. Not very nice. As an action. Second action. Free action, he drops his work and gets up from his chair, provoking from both of you, because technically I'm not prone or anything, but I am fully sitted. It's like fully sat down, unarmed and occupied, which is enough for me to say that him putting crap down, getting up, bitching and yelling at you guys, if anyone wanted to take a swipe at him.
I cannot.
No? Okay.
My trigger is something else.
Okay. Cognual, do you have any attacks of opportunity that are triggered from movement?
I do not.
Your monk, you didn't go the way of Messina, you went a different way? Okay.
Yes, no, I do not believe that I have anything with attack of opportunity.
Okay. I know there are some, but again, it's not, it's all based on build, right? All right. Where are we here? Gets up.
Actually, I think Messina didn't get that till 5th.
Oh, okay. Good to know. Gets up, bitching, cursing. And because it's a stool, I'm just going to leave him in his square. I'm not going to take him off the couch chair or whatever.
I cannot see him.
Oh, sorry. There we are.
Hello.
And takes a swipe with his claws at Tassie, who was our first instigator of, come in the door. Third action, takes a swipe with his claws with a 2 and a 17, and that is a miss, and that is me. He attacks you, Tassie. Kraga, the back of the line. With a 24 perception, now counting as your initiative, I can tell you with such a high perception that you can tell that a fight has broken out in the room, even though it is 10, 20, once within 30 feet of you. Something is attacking the party 30 feet away. What do you wish to do?
Get out of the way, guys. And I'm going to run up into the room.
Okay, 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. What is your movement?
20.
Okay. So it takes you 2 moves to get here, unless you want to use some kind of charge action or double. Don't you have like a charge double sprint or something?
Sudden charge, but it uses 2 actions anyways.
Okay.
Although I think I can attack as well without using a third action.
Yeah, I believe you can, so it's worth it, right? Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so I will use that.
All right. And you're targeting our friend. I got him targeted for you, and
Here we go.
I have a name, gentlemen. I'm not going to say this is a boss fight, but I have a name. Crit cards are on the table.
I have my big 2-handed maul out, and I take a downward swing.
Okay.
With a 17 to hit.
I know what you're thinking. You didn't say. We had established that if these guys are stacked up like any kind of SWAT team on any kind of door, they have time to pull weapons. Half of them mentioned they did, so I'm assuming everyone is, ready their favorite toy. So out comes the maul, right down on the guy's arm. 26 hits. And
Yes, sorry, a 26 hit.
Yep, hits and damage. It's time for battle
10
music.
damage. And then
Battle music and battle.
1 action left.
Yep. Second attack at penalties? Yes, no?
Oh, I always... Darn it. Yeah. Oh, well.
What's the matter?
I will attack again. I always forget to rage first.
You can rage now. You come in, swipe them, and then you see, how dare this guy, all this skin. You want to rage up now as your third?
And that's me.
Okay. Rage against the machine. Dubsy, you are up. Tassie of the Writhing Blade, you are next. Hang on a second. How did we completely... Oh, right, because... Right. Tassie moved into the room, and then that's what was my trigger, so technically he's back into initiative, right? Okay. Dubsy, you are up, sir. What do you want to do?
Let's move in 20 feet to the north, 5 feet to the right, and get beside good old monocle guy.
Circling the character. Oh, but name does not seem to have... I'm just seeing if he's got any attacks of opportunity himself.
Yeah, I like to find that out for everyone else. It's good for me.
Such a nice thing to do.
It's a learning experience.
No attack of opportunity.
All right. Then I will try to attack him. My short sword. The 23.
That is a hit.
I'm going to pierce him. Stab him. For 7 damage.
Okay.
Third action, I think I'll raise my shield.
Okay. Which brings us to Tassie.
I will step into the side, getting into flanking position with Dubsy.
All right. Allow me to make this dude off guard. 1 moment, please.
Please and thank you, sir.
Off guard.
NFL, you only did that sooner.
I know.
That's weird. Okay. I have flat-footed. I don't have off guard. I wonder what rule set loaded for me. Strange.
You might need to do your books. I had to do all my books when this booted up.
Yeah. Oh dear. All right.
And I will take a swing. With a 24 to hit. Yeah. For 11 points of damage. And
Nice.
then I will eraso my shield.
Okay.
And that's me.
And next we have Henro.
Seeing as my friends are in a fight, I'll run into the room as well. I guess draw my whip into the room and swing away, I guess. I guess I can go to, how many? 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. I have 30 feet of speed, so I can move to here.
Okay. So you want to go through your friendlies, cross the room, and end up on the door on the north wall besides Dubsy and past Kraga?
Yeah.
Okay.
They'll give me a full 30, and that leaves the doors open to get out of if we have to. And so draw my whip, run to the guy, hit him with the whip. See what happens here. Is he targeted there, Jeff?
Sorry.
No, sorry.
No, that's fine. Yep.
That is a 25.
Okay. Your first one landed. with a
Sorry,
crit
I
miss.
didn't see it land there. Sorry, it was a 9. Never mind.
No, that's fine.
Use your hero point.
Yeah, I'll use my hero point for that one. Of course.
Fine. Let's see those diamonds. Click on it. And it also takes it off your character sheet so we don't have, with almost a miss, and then,
And I caught him on the
Right.
backswing, bringing it back to me.
Exactly.
And that is going to be 1 damage.
How dare you, sir? No, I've got all my
That
books.
is
I know
my
what's going on
turn.
there. All right. And now, a word from our sponsor. Round 2. Cognul, our dwarf. Standing before you is Kraga. You could step around him to try to get a clean shot at our friend. Otherwise, he gives a shield bonus to said opponent.
No, I want to move here,
So down and around. Yep.
down and around, and we are going to go with a jab with my very long spear.
Okay. How about me?
Oh, that is terrible.
What'd you get?
A 12.
It's
That's
a
with my-
podcast, so I do need you to share your shameful numbers. Sorry.
No, it is a 12. That's with my plus 8 bonus.
Yeah.
So that was terrible. So we're going to go for a second try.
Okay.
Natural 20.
Hey, that's a quick card, sir.
Okay,
I'm a
with
na-
my plus
I'm
4
a-
makes me a 24.
With a 20, we find out his name. No. What do we got? A piercing, right?
Yes.
Triple damage. Crit effect. The target is fatigued. Organ scramble. You poke him in the ribs, and even though I'm undead and technically, things like that don't really work, that's fine. You get to do triple damage, sir. So, do your regular damage.
So that would be says a damage of 15.
Right. So roll me put a +3 in the modifier on the bottom left.
+3, yeah.
Now pick up a raw D8 and toss it in the window. And that's your third
7.
dice and third strength mod, right? We'll just add that to 15, and there you go. That's your triple. And I have to dig into my effects and find fatigued, which penalizes your foe, and dump it on the bad guy here. Well done, sir. He's so distracted by being surrounded by everyone. You slip in a really, really good hit. Well done. I'm just going to... You know what? I wonder if I could just stick that on there. No, it doesn't work. I thought I could maybe just drag the damage, but it's not technically
If it was like
registering
that, wouldn't it say like add an extra damage die? But if it says triple the damage, wouldn't that just mean 15 times 3?
Well, the 15
No,
was already 2d8.
It means triple damage instead of double damage. Like it's upping the crit from double damage dice to triple damage dice is what it means.
Oh.
Not triple your double.
That's what I was kind of hoping for.
Yeah. No, you've been hanging out with Spiegler too long. No. Nope. No, you get 3 dice instead of 2. Be happy with that, sir. And he's fatigued. That's a really good card, really.
They should word it more, just like I said, like add an extra damage die.
There's cards that come with it that talk about like the base terms, and these cards are old edition too, so it's based on...
And there's some things that already have multiple dice, and you'd get that roll of multiple dice again.
Yeah, like Drew and his like precision attack or whatever. When it says triple die, it's like it says 2d6. Yeah, so that's all it goes. Anyway, so with me adding an additional 7 to the wounds, done and done. Cognule, that is a move and a strike and an action left, I believe. No, he missed the first time, didn't you? Yeah, missed the first time. Okay. All right.
Move, miss, and a strike.
Okay.
22 damage.
Now it's time for monocle wearing Alarosk. Oh, did I say his name? Never mind. Ignore that.
Fred. I heard Fred.
Continuing, because it's round 2, to be so upset, and even though it's not tactically sound, it's baked into the strategy. For 2 rounds, he will waste his first action insulting, cursing, and seething at you guys for disturbing him. But there's a little bit more. Where is it here? Sorry. Gotta move this guy. Again, I'm searching for the... Where's my room pin here? There we go. Voicing his displeasure and informing the heroes about the blasphemous limericks and humiliating odes he will be tattooing onto your dead bodies after I've killed you.
Hey, Grandpa, it's just rock and roll.
Player with the tattooist archetype.
Yeah, it's just, yeah. There you go, eh? Can I have, even though it's not your turn, Tass, I got a hit on you?
You're going to hit on me?
I said, did I get a hit on you? No, he missed, right?
Oh, no.
No, I think he missed.
He missed.
He missed.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Continuing to bitch, he swipes up the tattooed flesh piece, the swatch of flesh with a tattoo on it. Okay, yeah. Stuffs it in his mouth and tears off a piece like a fruit roll-up, and gulps it down as a single action. Consume tattooed flesh. And I heal myself 4d6 dice by gulping this down. And then roll another dice. And as a second action, Our dwarf hit me the hardest. He gulps down the flesh and kicks out at the dwarf's spear stuck in him and leans on it, riding the shaft closer to the dwarf, and takes a nasty clawed swipe at our dwarf this time. With a 32, getting a critical
Triggering
hit.
my reaction.
There it is. I knew I should have just attacked you directly and got on with it. Go ahead.
Did you just say 32?
32 to hit. I got a crit hit on you. But wait, our champion has a special reaction, which he's going to bugger me.
The ally gains resistance 5 against that attack. So when the damage comes, and if he's within reach, which he is, I get to make a melee strike against him.
I'm going to poke you right in the eye.
I'm going to put a -5 in the open modifier, so it'll nerf the damage for you.
Yep.
Okay.
And let
So
her rip. I'll let you resolve that first.
2d6 plus 7 slashing damage, -5 plus paralysis. Can I have a fortitude save, Mr. Dwarf? Still manages to do 27 points damage.
Oh, man.
Oh, I didn't take the... Okay, never mind. I'll give you some back. It didn't seem to nerf... I told it -5, but it didn't... It didn't give it to you. So it's only 22, actually.
I got a 19 with a +9 for a 28.
Well, that's good.
I would hope so.
Any non-living, non-elf creature hit by my attack must succeed a 22 DC fortitude save or become paralyzed. So you are fine.
Sweet. And now I swing. Did that
I'll
not
take it.
Yeah.
do anything?
And Cognual, I nerfed the damage by 5 because it didn't do it automatically.
Oh, I rolled it in the tower by accident. Oops. That's
Would you? It's okay. I got it. I'll pull it out. 29.
Oh, damn!
I thought you thought it was sus. I was gonna like, do you want this attack? And then you'd be like, no, I won't take it. Well, when's the last time? Yeah. Anyway, dude, do you know what that was in the tower?
No.
A nat 20.
Oh, it was
another
nat 20.
crit. Another crit card.
Sick.
Because man,
It didn't do critical damage because it wasn't applied to him, apparently, or just because maybe I missed or whatever. So it just did my regular damage. So I will give it to you again. But what does the card say? What's it say?
What is it? Slashing?
Yes, slashing.
Shattered jaw. Until healed, the target is wounded 1, can't speak, eat, drink, or make attacks with its jaws. I can't bite you is one of my best attacks, and I can't eat more tattooed flesh and heal myself. Oh. Damn. Talk about pulling a card that actually wrecks your opponent. Nice. See? Tell you, man. We should lift that whole nat 20 nat 1 and just pull these every crit.
No way, dude. We will be like... we will be a party of amputees in like one session.
This is true. I'll never forget that time in Age of Ashes where you used telekinetic object to throw an axe. A whole bunch of crit cards later, and it came back and hit Frank, and he was so pissed. Fumbled the spell, and you hit him with a crit. Remember, that was just, it was terrible. Anyway,
it was bad.
So yeah, we decided to cut down on those cards.
I'll roll my damage again because it didn't crit it.
Yeah.
That could have just
weird.
doubled it. Works the same.
I was gonna say. Wow, look at that. Smash his jaw. And with your whip sword, like it's just dangling, right? Just wrecked to one side.
Shredded.
That's so good. Nasty.
No more insults, though.
That's true. You know, it was round 3. I stopped talking. If you had done this earlier, I wouldn't have wasted rounds. It could have actually helped me. But no, you picked the round where I would have stopped wasting rounds anyway. Can't eat my flesh. My little tattooed artworks. Anyway, That was on
just
my
my
turn.
reaction. Yeah.
Dude, that's wait a minute, like this is my turn, right? I get more attacks. So he gets a crit on the dwarf, and that was my opening attack. I get my jaw smashed.
He ate the flesh. He bitched. He ate the flesh, and he attacked.
Right. Sorry, that's right. This is round 2. So he bitched. That's done. Ate the flesh, which has a 1d4 cooldown, by the way. And then, yeah, so he's done. That what actually was his final action. Which brings us to Kraga.
And I'm full rage, swinging my maul again at this.
How upset is Kraga on a scale of 1 to, and we'll see you all next time.